Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome. If you are joining us live, we have the chat going, and we are situating ourselves for a beautiful morning ritual, a beautiful morning practice. If you are catching us on demand later on, welcome and good morning to you. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We had a wonderful weekend here. Picked up a little bit of a cold, so I've got some ginger lemon tea rolling, which is helpful. I wanted to get started by tuning up and doing some of our morning ritual work. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning, Marlon. Mr. Grubbs, how are you today? Great to see you here today. Oh, Mr. Tortorello, good morning. Did we have good weekends? Here's the A440. Too early to tell. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. So there's the 5th fret harmonic on the A string. And today it just occurred to me that over the weekend I wanted to just reiterate and basically keep this sort of a sacred spot and just maintain its effectiveness for morning practice. And I can get off track a little bit and start playing songs and chasing down requests, but there's definitely there's a space for that on this channel. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. But welcome again. I think we're in good shape. All right, so we'll start by tuning up. My D string's a little out. I think my truss rod is going to need a wee bit of adjustment. So I've got to just be sensitive and gingerly with my strings this morning. My high E string is barking at me a little more than normal, and just want to maintain a good quality experience for that high E string. So we're tuning up. We've got the metronome already blasting at 60 beats per minute. It's a Monday morning, but we are getting closer and closer to kickoff day, which is the first official video of this series is going to be on the first day of January. I'm not on any medication for my cold today, but I am a little stuffed up. So I appreciate you bearing with me and all of that kindness that you can forward my way, for sure. And we'll take a moment and be thankful that we're able to be here together and share some guitar time. I know it's a big ask, and it can seem kind of like, if we do this all of the time, it can seem sort of like, forced or not sincere, but I'm definitely sincere in saying that I definitely appreciate being able to spend some time with the guitar this morning and with some friends on the internet who are also interested in, expanding their own journeys. If you do stick around for the whole session, toward the end of the session, rather than jam out on songs and just go on, in every which direction, I think I'm going to do we're going to share some time working on inverting some of the Ted Green chords that we've been working on in the series. And I know a lot of us are here for that reason, myself included. So I'm focusing on just building a better, more complete, advancing guitar player. And if you're just coming in, if you're just joining us, we do this morning ritual. We're doing this morning ritual 5 days a week. We start with breath, breathing in and out. We're trying to design a breathing pattern that's separate from our mechanical process, our physical process, internal process, and then our mechanical process with the picking and fretting hands of the guitar. and all of the other mechanical things that go along with it. So we're doing this every day, 7 days a week. No, 5 days a week, sorry. Some of us, I'm sure, are doing this 7 days a week, myself included, but we're only here together 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to Eastern, usually for half an hour. And we've been going way over, and I'm going to try to stop that because I know some of you want to go through the warm-up period and get on with your day's work. And if you're not able to join us live, if you're watching this on demand, the chats, follow along in the chats, because the chats there's so many great players from all over the planet that have been showing up. And without further ado, let's get started. And probably likely where we're going to start today. We're using fingers 3 and 4 on the low E string, and we're starting with 1, 2, T, 1 attack per beat. Just now, it's going to be a little bit of a chunk for some of us. This again isn't for everybody, but when we do this at this tempo, we end up being able to control the really important things when it really matters. Do you know what I mean? So we don't always want to play like this. We don't always want to sit around and be observed being, this kind of person, but we want to be totally attentive in our intention and our devotion to each single movement of the pick, each single movement of the fretting hand, and all of that stuff, including the breath. So I'm a little bit out of breath this morning because of my cold. Be blessed in the name of Jesus. Greeting from Germany. Good morning. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Thank you very kindly for sharing with us. And without further ado, let's get rolling. So fingers 3 and 4. We've got a lot of work to do today. We're using frets 11 and 12, and we're using contiguous frets, right? So I'll count it off, and 1, 2, you know what to do, and 11 and 12. We can use all down strokes, all up strokes, combination of down and up strokes if you like. It's dealer's choice this morning for the picking hand. The picking hand is going to, you can hear my right hand isn't dynamically really dialed in at the moment, so I'm going to dial it in. Through breath, I'm going to really shoot for, consistency and evenness and tone, and this is just for, it's not like we want to play like this every day, but we want to be sure we feel confident that we can manufacture a perfect tone with every breath we take. And that confidence will lead to other really great places, and then when we start, at blistering tempos later on, and we do 16th note, and at 16th note triplets at 120 on the metronome, we'll be pretty confident about what we're doing, and all of these mechanical things will just fall right into place, and it will look good, and it will feel good, and it will be like, how the Ferrari's got a nice, the stick has a machined aluminum plate where you cannot place it in the wrong gear, because the last thing you want to do is ruin a transmission. That you don't want to ruin that transmission that took all of that time to design and all of that time to build. So that's kind of, we're acting sort of in an Olympic. I'm not saying that we want to enter, any sort of competition other than with ourselves and to create a beautiful experience. But we do definitely want to, I think we're all here for we all share a similar goal, which is to advance ourselves as a person, advance ourselves as in our families, and then our communities, and then the world at large. So that comes through discipline, devotion, that time spent, or Mr. 𝗠cie𝗿𝗄𝗏 calls it seat time. We've had seat time here for a few weeks now, and the plan is to get that seat time to transcend the span of one whole year. Yeah, I know. It's really something. To think that anybody might actually do this for 1 whole year, just to see what kind of gains we're going to make. We are going to make substantial gains. It seems like it might be monotonous, monotony, it might be painful, it might be one of those things that maybe I want to overlook today, you know, and that's fine. But I'm making a commitment to be here 5 days a week at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that way I can take a look, a snapshot at what the first video that we did together looks like. The comments, we're going to dissect everything and take another look at how our consciousness shifted, how the psychology of this whole process shifted 1 year from now. Have the goals shifted? Have we reached a new place? Do we have new goals that we've identified because of the work and the gains that we've made already? So, like I said, it's not for everyone, but it's for the ones who are intended to be here. This is definitely the place to be for me. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. Oh, we've got some Germany here. We've got Yeshua Max. Be healed. Jesus loves you. You know, that's an important thing to hear in the day-to-day. Yeah, amen. And we're called to do that, you know. So I think Vincent is here. Good morning. Dealer's Choice was in my head. That's trippy. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, it's let's go ahead and do fingers 2 and 3. We'll keep working, okay? If you're here, I hope you have a guitar, and I hope you're tuned up, and I hope you join us. I'm going to continue along with fingers 2 and 3, same process on 11 and 12. We'll walk all the way down to fret number 1, and we'll walk all the way back up to 11 and 12, and then we'll take it from there. Let's try it. 1, 2, you know what to do. 1, 2. I'm going to try to maybe do all upstrokes because I got a lot of exposure on that downstroke treatment last time around. Good morning, brethren. I'm back. Yeah, Limon, what's going on? Any thoughts on making a tutorial video on Harry McClintock? I did some listening. I'm absorbing some of that content. I really appreciate the and I really appreciate you following up with that. Let me ask you a question. Do you oh yeah, the tutorial for Big Rock Candy Mountains is coming. Yeah, we did yesterday. We dropped John Mayer's version of Free Fall, and we added some chord chemistry, you know, magic toward the end. I plugged in a looper pedal so that we could have a nice steady rhythmic background, so that we could really do some study and research. Raul made a good point about, you know, incorporating tablature, and I really appreciate the comments like that, because we definitely want to be serving each other where we're at, right? And if tablature works for you, that's good. My thought with that video and videos like that is to present it as if it were a face-to-face video, you know, or a face-to-face experience, where I would be sure to leave something on the chalkboard, you know, on the writing board, like, for example, my fret hand. If you need to learn a shape, I'll leave it there, or you could pause the video and just kind of learn the shape in real time. And this came up again yesterday. I did a little performance in the afternoon yesterday, and we got talking about the importance of learning how to read sheet music, or how to read notation. It's so important, and I do not want to minimize that at all. So I think the visual representation of the thing is a good thing to remember. But for some reason, I thought maybe we'd try it if we were just 2 people sitting on a porch somewhere, and we only had guitars, and we wanted to exchange ideas. And that's sort of where I was coming from that point, that perspective. And just keep the comments coming, because they do help. I definitely appreciate it. Big Rock Candy Mountains is it's definitely coming. Yeah, bless you, Yeshua. Yeah. How's your morning going, my friend? How is everybody? I think let's take the temperature. Did everybody have a pretty good weekend? Yeah. 𝗔𝗠liche𝗶𝘆. Hashtag. You gotta put the plugs in there, huh? Good to see you, 𝗔𝗠liche𝗶𝘆. Limon, remember, I'll shoot you some cash once you tab out Big Rock Candy Mountains. Oh yeah. All right, don't threaten me with a good time. So Anthony Torello, get married over the week. Wait, what? You got married over the weekend? Wow. Congratulations, man. What a beautiful time. And we're working our way through this left-hand situation. Just a left-handed situation, isn't it? For me. Just, I hope everything's going all right, and I hope everybody's playing along, and or at least able to absorb something useful from this morning practice session. We have one of our friends here who got married over the weekend. What a beautiful time. What a blessing. 50s and 60s in Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, we're looking at a little bit of rain, freezing rain here, probably 30 degrees, something like that. Went to Silver City Theme Bar in Branson, Missouri. Great theme bar. I would recommend Time Traveler. Cool. Congrats, Tony. Yeah, beautiful thing. Beautiful. All right, so let's take a look at the next group of fingers. I've just got to move it around a little bit. Just got to shuffle things around just for a second. I know we've been talking about just moving and stretching. So one of the things I want to do is get used to not being sedentary. While we do the work, our work is sedentary in nature. What we tend to do is get a little bit comfortable, and I noticed that I'm 17 minutes in and I have not done any stretching, so here's my stretch right here. I also want to remind myself that I do need to do like the forward bend, you know, at some point, so I can do all of this at one time and 𝗱 swoop. And if you're practicing yoga, you can take a look at how the forward bend works. But those are all important pieces for me, because as soon as I do these stretches, I feel refreshed. I feel like I could play the guitar again for another 15 minutes and be, you know, solidly sort of approaching my instrument. So hopefully we can all take a moment to stretch and see the just feel a benefit from that. Ooh, I've got this beautiful ginger tea. I'm going to just haul just for a brief second. Ginger, lemon, honey tea, because I've got a bit of a cold going this morning. And that, I've been instructed by my wife that I need to get that in there. Mostly because she probably doesn't want to hear me whine all day long. So let's just jump back into it. We're at fingers 1 and 2, and now I'm just going to use in the fret hand, and we're using frets 11 and 12, and we're using down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And ready? 1, attack, or beat, and here we go. 1, 2, T, po. And I'm really very careful to not overdo my presence with the pick. I'm just working on tone. I think tone is just so important. My cousin Pete is sort of a locally famous guitar player who's now passed, but the late great Peter, a wonderful Strat player. He had this blue Strat Plus with the Wilkinson roller bridge, not the roller one, but the needle bearings in it, and the nut, and this beautiful old blue Strat with all of the lace sensor pickups in it. And he was a wonderful slide guitar player, wonderful guitar player, musician in general, and just a wonderful human. And he was I have to look back, and then people like him who have been playing the guitar, you know, they all agree, I think, many agree, that tone doesn't come from, I mean, a large part of the tone comes from the instrument, but most of the tone will come directly as a result of your fingers, you know, your picking and fretting hands. Tone comes from your fingers, and it takes a long time. I'm still figuring it out here, but it takes a long time for some of us to grasp that concept, myself included, and I believe that that's a truism, right? I believe that that's true for sure. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, fingers down, up, and then we're just shifting all the way down to position number 1, going through our nice, taking it easy through the Monday morning deal here. Kevin was married 45 years. Nice. '45's great. That's a beautiful thing. Anthony, I'll give you a sub and a like in a little while. Yeah, Anthony's got some great stuff going on over there. He's got some great camera presence too, above and beyond the skill. Hope you feel better. Yeah. All right, stay happy. Absolutely. Thanks for popping in, Lamone. And keep an eye out for that big rock candy mountain. So we're working our way through this very controlled breathing sequence. Pick is very careful to not pick or pluck or attack before the finger moves, you know, so we don't hear. We don't, you know, it's just an observation. It's just a series of observations, being obedient and observant every step of the way. And I know, I'm so thankful that you're still here. But I know it can be painful for some of us to watch. But what we're really doing here is we're really just working on morning warm-ups for about half an hour at a time. We're going to continue on a little bit beyond that today because we are traveling at 60 beats per minute, 1 attack per beat. And I just need to get through all of my Monday, you know, basic Monday stuff, the fundamental stuff. Now, I'm doing this 5 days a week at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it due to whatever, you could also, now we're going to pick this up, 2 attacks per beat today, right? Fingers 2 and 4 on frets 10 and 12. Same pattern, and 1 and 2, and you know what to do. And 1, up, down, up, down, up. Metal Rocker 99. Can you play Wicked Game by him? Oh yeah. Very cool. I recommend those requests keep coming because what we do is we turn those into fully like produced guitar tutorials, and hopefully they work for you. If you have specific things that you would like to see, I also offer another live stream series, which is sort of like where members can kind of come in and just ask those questions. I'd try to offer that, you know, make that available. So we definitely offer that. Yeah. I think it's a good idea to learn the things that you want to learn on the guitar, you know. That keeps us playing. It solves that instant gratification, you know, that satiation, you know, be satiated, like, and content. And some of us the goal is to literally learn how to play songs that we like. So those are totally important pieces of the game, and that aligns perfectly, especially in our andragogy or our pedagogy and the way we are teaching and learning, we have a little bit of discovery-based method, you know, sprinkled on top of sequential learning. And I'm almost back to the point from where we started, getting ready to get fingers 2 and 3 going. Yeah, I'm going to play right now. What I'm engaged in is a finger warm-up. So I'm using fingers 2 and 3. If you would like to join with us, I would totally invite you to jump in with us. And if you're playing the guitar, if you're here tuned up, we have fingers 2 and 3. And now we're stretching. We're non-contiguous frets. I'm checking my posture once again, and I'm using fingers 2 and 3 on frets 10 and 12. So I get that nice stretch, that intermediate stretch in the fret hand. So 1 and 2, and you know what to do. And so how does it feel to be married, man, now? I remember buzzing on that for a long time. Our honeymoon period is still moving. Yeah, find new ways to keep it fresh. We love to talk about everything. So nice and steady wins the race in this case. Oh, good. Yeah, so it's time. Yeah, you know. So we've been married twice and never divorced, so figure that one out. Both married to the same people, obviously, same person. It's a good one. And it took time, you know, it took a little bit of time. It was a little bit like the guitar, you know, like love at first sight. You know, when you play the guitar for the first time, or you saw somebody play that favorite riff, do you remember why you started playing guitar? Anybody here? Do you remember, like, why you actually started playing the guitar? What was it? I'd have to really think back to remember, because it was always around the house, just sort of laying around. Acoustic guitars would just be laying around. And, you know, I'd pick up a guitar and put it on my lap, like Jeff Healey would play, and just kind of pluck away at the strings. And eventually somebody showed me that, hey, the frets do stuff too, you know, so we're going to start at the top this time, just to change it up, and then we're going to get a good stretch in and just jump into the comments. Ready? Oh yeah, another thing, if you're here, we do appreciate likes, you know, the likes and stuff like that. I don't know if it has anything to do with how YouTube distributes our stuff, but we are also grateful and thankful for life, number one. But likes are, you know, we try to get up around like 20, but you know, we're not here for that. We're here literally to do the thing, right? So we're going to do the thing, starting with fingers 1 and 2 on frets 10 and 12. And 1, 2, and you know what to do. And alternate picking with the pick hand, and the fret hand just keeps hammering down. We're looking for long tones. Let's see if we can identify the difference between lifting that staccato tone. You know, I'm plucking the string and then I'm breaking the connection with the string, but I'm not removing my finger from I'm breaking the connection with the fret, sorry. I'm not breaking the connection with the string because I don't want my finger to lift off the string, because if I did, you know, it'd be over the hills and far away before you knew it. But nice and short, you know, staccato, or not, almost like pizzicato or plucked feel. And then we can use long tones, we can use anywhere in between that. So we're really working on a lot of things with the fretting hand. The fret hand really is a source for tonal structure and tonal generation and quality management. Yeah. just to think we could do all of the things that we can do. You think about the full range of guitar and what is possible that we don't know yet. People pushing the boundaries, pushing the limitations, you know, and we're starting with, you know, down up in the mornings. Just to think where this is going to take us over the span of a year. We are literally going to become guitar monsters. So, I mean, I hope you're okay with that, because that's what's going to happen, you know. It's not that difficult. It's just literally seat time, and steady goes the race. Now we're at 1/2 hour, and we just completed fingers. We did one stretch now. What I'm going to do is just get another stretch in, because I think it's important to do that every 15 minutes or so. So this is a good opportunity. If you have questions for me, this is a great opportunity. Or if you have comments you'd like to share in the live chat with, and get the group going for another minute, this is a great spot to do that. Baby Bash, 𝗠cie𝗶𝘆, yeah, good. Feels amazing. She's the greatest. Been together for years. Well, congratulations. If you wouldn't mind sending congratulations to her as well. From this whole group, I think would be, we probably could reach concurrence with that. Yeah, what a beautiful thing. Are you going to play any songs? I do play songs sometimes, but this is a morning guitar, metal rocker. This is specifically designed, this period right here of time is specifically designed to get us warmed up, so that in the next live feed, like I jump over to TikTok after this, you know, and then I'll probably just be warmed up and play a few things, a few things. So the plan today is, in the past we take requests, and that's not a thing of the past, but I think there are many here who want to just get through a morning ritual, and there is if there are specific items like that you really want to do person to person, I do offer Zoom instruction. I do offer another live stream that is specific to getting those requests met. So, I mean, there are absolutely those options, but what we're doing here is, are you going to play any songs? Yeah, I am going to play some songs, and I'm not sure that that's going to happen in this live stream, but it could. I heard Angus Young back in black guitar. So that's what got you started. Metal rocker, what got you started playing guitar? If you want to share, I mean, we'd love to hear what got people started on the guitar. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's so much repertoire, so much great stuff to play. So where are we at? We're at, 3 fingers. And let's just get right through this 3 fingers. So we're using one. We'll use, I don't know if you guys feel up for it, but I'm going to use 16 or 4 attacks per beat at 60 beats per minute. So we'll go ahead and just kind of get fingers 2, 3, and 4 going, okay? 1 E and a 2 E and a, let me know when you're ready. Ready? 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a faux E and a... I'm a little sick today again, so I've got a little bit of a sniffle, so if you can pardon me, please, I would be really appreciative of that. So if you're just here, we're using finger warm-ups. We're getting ourselves ready for the guitar day with alternating right hand and down up in the right hand and 3 fingers going in the left hand. It's a little bit like rubbing the head and patting the tummy, right? But it feels great. It feels really good. Just get this moving this morning. amazing that Back in Black would do it, you know. Just so powerful. Just such a powerful band. Angus was a big influence on me personally too. Yep. So we have fingers 1, 2, and 3, same thing. 4 attacks per beat, 1 at 60 beats per minute. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a here we go E and a. Oh, you get Tucker coming in here. He's in and out. Just missed Tuckerman. I too remember seeing Angus on TV as a kid when I was starting out on guitar. The energy just blew me away. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like, how do you fit that much TNT in one band? It's like, and I've heard that they play, I've never seen them. I have friends like Cheese, we call him Cheese. He used to go see them all the time, and just like 110 decibels, 120 decibels, you know, just, and you'd see chunks of civic centers fall off the roof or something, I don't know. But I guess they're really loud in concert, and that thump, just the thump and the power and that punch. Remember when the Razor's Edge album came out? Thunderstruck, remember when that hit? When that dropped, man, jeez. And then there was For Those About to Rock. That was a good one for me personally. I loved it. It was just that anthemic, that, you know, the cannons at the end and everything like blowing up and just coming apart at the seams. And you just imagine yourself on a stage like that. That definitely is food for thought for young people and, you know, adult learners too. It's just, you know, obviously it's a magic band. All right, where are we at? We're at fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let's see, Kevin, got to run until tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody, and congrats again, Anthony. Compromise and communicate. Oh yeah, good lessons. More effective than what we're doing today. Yeah, priority, absolutely. All right, see you later, Kevin. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. 1, 2, 1 E and a 2 E and a. We're going to use this as a warm-up, and then we're going to, I want to do the diagonal pattern too. So if you have to jump, I totally get it. But I'm going to hang out and just carry on through a few more pieces of this down, this warm-up for me this morning. I haven't gotten through everything. Just the Monday morning. You know, we wanted to be careful and sort of tiptoe back into it, you know. As we get moving along as a group, the herd will start to move at a faster, the pack will start to move at a faster rate of speed. But right now, we're just still sort of like in our, I'm just going to say in our infancy together. Just getting a kind of a read on what everybody wants to do, what everybody's, you know, capable. I guess what I'm going to do is keep working on, you know, warm-ups. But sometimes, you know, we can start a little faster than other times. You know, well, like I said, when we started the session, the plan is to keep at 60 beats per minute for the entire season this year. But then we want to be able to, you know, play 5s, play 6s, quintuplets, sextuplets, and septuplets. You know, we want to be able to do all of those things, and that will help to improve our speed as well as our rhythmic divisions, you know, our subdivision strategies. So that's what we're shooting for. And now I'd like to My Jod is, let's see. Oh, wow. 96. That's a pretty impressive number. That's a calling right there, friend. That's the call. That's the calling, you know. Pardon me. I've just got to take another, just a quick sip here. All right, and we're starting with. I'm going to use this diagonal pattern, starting on position number 9, and we're using 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're taking that, sliding it down one position and using 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide that down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that turns into a really great skill to have. You know, it's a sweep. It's a right hand. It's designed to be right hand pick hand development. So we're using. I'm going to use it just to be a little more surgical for my alternate picking this morning. So. But instead of doing that, you know, fours, I'm going to try quintuplets. So, and see how that goes. You know, 5 attacks per beat at 60. I didn't think it was going to work. So my fingers are, you know, my fingers are pretty much warmed up now. So what I'd like to do is, I'd like to just talk a little bit about, number one, we dropped a C major 7 sharp 5 sequence. I didn't explain this very much this morning. Matiko, Mr. Dillard, what's going on? Yeah, good morning. Just in time for the deep end right here. So I wanted to start, I'm going to basically invert the major 7 chord, right? The root 5, you know, the guitaristic voicing that we all know and love so well. But I'm going to use the, you know, I'm basically going to invert it over the course, over the span of the entire guitar neck. Okay, and that's the plan. And then just go through that. But I wanted to talk quickly about what we dropped this weekend. If you guys caught the chord chemistry drop this weekend on Saturday morning, it premiered, and we started talking about Mr. Green's page 20, I think it's 24. It's the major 7 augmented with the root 3 sharp, root C, root 3 sharp 5 major 7. That's a really wild sound. I mean, man, it's like just wilder than heck. So we have the root 5 major 7 and 3. And I just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to match if you're not already matching that with a scale, I know we talked about that version, the major 7 augmented with E and A root notes, but if you wanted to play it in C, you know, that's fine. And then that relates back to the Jazz Melodic Minor. So we have 1, 2, flat, 3 starting on. I like to play it, you know, in as many different positions as I can, all of the positions, I guess. But I like to start here because it's near, you know, it's 4th position with the first finger stretched back to 3. And we're starting with finger 2 on the root note when we're not using it for the person in the front row. Do you know what I mean? So we have finger 4, Then we have first finger stretching way back to the flat 3, then the 4, right? So 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, talking chord tones now. 5, 6, major 7, and 1. Oh, there's a major 7 there, so we've got to play instead of flat 7, major 7 here. So we have 1, 2, 3, flat 3, 4, 5, major 6 or natural 6, natural 7, and 1. So it's basically the major scale. Melodic minor is major scale with a flatted 3. So that's all we have to remember. And that chord is built off of the flatted 3 of the harmonic structure, diatonic to the A melodic minor. So check that out this week if you get a chance. Oh yeah, I have the book right here on my note stand. I think it was at page 24 with the major 7 augmented. Right, okay, cool. So I didn't mention it in that because I want to try to compartmentalize these things, so we're absorbing the voicings, you know, and we don't, but I do want to make sure that I mention like why we might be using these voicings, you know. So that's the major 6. That you could also use that obviously, but the major 7 is in A melodic minor is right here on a G sharp. So that's where this chord comes from, and then that's where all of those inversions of that chord come from. You know what I mean? So that's 7, 1, and then we'd have a minor, you know, major 7 or whatever, minor, major 9, which is pretty much where the second chord in Stairway to Heaven comes from, right? The minor, major 9 chord with the G sharp in the bass. It's literally from A minor, A melodic minor mode, right? Which is, you know, something you probably know, but if you don't know that, now we know, and knowing is half the battle, right? I don't think I'll get pinched for saying that. So it's just a really great bunch of stuff to just discover. It's just a really great tonal area. So, but I do want to go through and work on just arpeggiating these chord shapes of C major 7. And then I'm using, you know, just for the sake of expanding my exercise. So I'm working on getting the bass note laid down first. The bass note goes first, and then the bass note, and then the chord gets unfurled. So bass note, next inversion, which is like an E minor with a flatted 6 in it. You know, if you're playing an Incubus, this would go in any Incubus song, you know. And then there's a nice major 7 here, and then bass note with a 5, you know, 5 in the bass, and then we're running on up to frets 7, 3, root, and 1. Yeah. So that's a nice C major 7 with a B note in the bass, as opposed to playing C major 7 with a B on the top. Super powerful stuff, just superstar stuff, you know. I think it's borderline, it's just basically going to get us to the point where we can justify playing any chord as long as we know what it is at any moment. Josh, what's going on? Mr. Hack, what's much love from Australia. I wish I had that accent, you know, that accident figured out. Good day, you know, great to have you here, mate. Yeah, for sure, for certain. So what's going on over there? Are you playing guitar with us? We have one of the guys, one of the team here just got married this weekend. So Mr. Tortorello got married this weekend. If you haven't scrolled through the live chat yet, so that's pretty exciting news. I know one other Australian word. It's like Foster's, I think, right? Oh, shoot. Thank you very kindly for following and subscribing and all that stuff. Oh, what's your best beer? He just says that's our junk beer, but what's your best beer? Cooper's is our best. Cooper's, can we? I'll have to see if I can find that in America, in the state side. So Cooper's, that's an interesting thing. We used to be able. We used to could be able to get Boddingtons and Newcastle, the Nuki Browns, the Nuki Brune, but we can't get the stuff anymore over here. I can't find it anywhere. I'm not sure what's going on. It's rather nice. It's a pale ale. All right, cool. Yeah. So do you play guitar along with us, do you think? I'm just trying to take a temperature. You don't have to answer anything you don't want, obviously. But is this something that because we're doing warm-ups here, and I was wondering if you're likely to play the guitar along with us. Oh, the background. Yeah, cool background. Yeah, my son built this door. It's basically built the room out of, wood pallet walls. It's an accent wall, but it's, a doggy room right now. We kind of hang out in here with the doggies, and it's just a place where we can all hang and just get fur everywhere, Oh, you're not a guitar man. The boy has some talent. I love woodwork. Yeah, it's some of the best stuff that one could do is just be a carpenter, right? So let's take a look, and let's move through fingers 3, the chord tone, we're using 3, the major 7, the root, and then the 5 of the C, and then, so the root note would be here on a C note, right? So I'm just working, what happens if I have a 3, a 7, a root, and a 5? I'm going to move that 3 up to 5, I'm going to move that 7 up to 1, so I have to remember this, and then I'm going to move that 1 up to 3, and then I'm going to move that 5 up to 7. So this is my next voicing, and this is how linearly I would work through and find the inversions for something that I've set in motion. So if I use the major 9, for example, like this shape, this would look like I need to move that 9. I'd need to go from 3 to 5, from root to 9, right, or 7 to 9. So it might look a little different. Right, so that's just how I'm building these things in a linear fashion. Darren Chandler, my friend of mine, he makes barnwood doors, sliding. Yeah, those are awesome. Yeah, we bought this old farmhouse, and we've got pallets and pallets of old wood that it's all on obtainium now. You can't get wood planks this wide and this thick anymore. It's impossible to find wood grain in that quantity anymore. Love the barnwood doors. Yeah, me too. Thanks so much. It's like this live series. It's not for everybody, but it is for those of us who are supposed to be here. It's definitely a joyful experience. Yeah. So all right. So here's the thing. So we move through this. I'm just moving through this process to make sure I have all of these under my fingertips, the major 7, and then I can reach this before I take my first finger out of my thumb out from behind the guitar neck. The next shape, so I'm using, these are all contiguous strings, right? So all of these strings are right next to one another. So this is the pattern, right, that we don't go through right away in the chord chemistry series right here on my channel. But right now what I'm doing is I'm using all of these chord shapes that we're learning from Mr. Green, and I'm applying them in a functional sense. So now that I've learned them, I can basically add them into my day-to-day playing, right? So we have the 4 middle strings, root, 5, 7, and 3, which is a very guitaristic voicing. So the root goes up to 3, the 5 goes up to the 7 goes up to the 1, and the 3 goes up to the 5. So I've got this really nice, really nice C major 7 with an E in the bass, or an E minor 6, lot of good stuff going on here. So there's that first inversion of the C major 7. And then we're heading on up to the 5 in the bass, second inversion. So we have the 5, 1, 3, and 7. Just stacking up chord wood, basically, right? Putting it all in a pile so we know where to go get it when we need to get warm. Yeah. Soothing. Sorry, I'll be quiet now. No problem. No, I think I usually take a break, you know, to stretch and then review these comments. So, you know, you guys just keep going along and stuff, and we'll get back to those comments in a minute. But if you're in a flow state, don't interrupt yourself. Just let it roll, man. All right. So we're gonna do the next versions, which is a G, and then the 5, and then the 3, and then the root, and then the 1, and then the 7, 5, root, 3, and then the root, 7, 3, 5, and then the 3, root, 5, and then 3, root, 5, and then 7. Oh, hey, don't look at the ugly chord, you know. All right, there we go. So that's really nice. What we do here is we just take all of those chords in chord chemistry, and I know sometimes when we're going through this series, like we're on part 9, we just finished page 24 and major 7 augmented chords, which who confirmed that? It's loaded with major 7 augmented chords. And we're just going through that series right now and really taking our time, just absorbing the chords and having the faith that what we're doing is worth it, and it will bleed into our playing as we continue going through the chemistry, you know, the chord chemistry, and continue kind of working through these morning rituals. All of these things will sort of like, that are floating around out there, they feel like that we're, you know, sort of like being observed by the Webb telescope, but all of that stuff will start to just solidify and it'll put us in the fast lane, you know what I mean? Just keeping the faith while we're absorbing a lot right now, especially with these these morning rituals. So another thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit in this morning ritual before we got moving is this one, right? So we have the finger rolls are important for the left hand, and we're going to use these. So I'm using finger 1. All right, so here's the trick. I'm starting on fingertip, enough of a fingertip on finger 4 so that when I roll to the A string, that rolls over, but my third finger is on a tip. So I've got one finger, you know, flattening itself out and the other one arched. So that's a real trick. That's a real issue to solve on the guitar, right? So we have this really nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and then roll, finger roll, and then descend, and then fingertip, and then roll from the A string up to the D string, and then that's rolled over, but this finger is arched, 2, 3, 4, and then roll, and then arch third finger. So that's what we're doing this for. And to maintain tone, and so that it's not clumsy feeling or clumsy sounding. This is one of those techniques that we practice frequently. This is a frequent flyer for a little bit of time. So we're just basically wrapping up our Monday approach because I'm keeping you way over now. And Laura, good morning. Schrodinger's, that's so jazzy sounding. Yeah, jazzy. I like it when people say it jazzy. Yeah, because it is jazzy. It's sort of a descriptive word, but it's like saying bluesy. You know, what is it? What does it actually mean? Yeah, it's just something I can relate to. You know, but the idea is jazzy in the modern sense might mean that, oh, that person has taken the time to develop music as a language and cultivated the mechanical process so that it becomes something they don't have to think about at all while they express a musical concept. You know, like talking. You know, it's just basic. That would be like, you know, one approach to the jazzy description. Good morning, fine tuning, 1776. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Never saw that chord. So, all right, I'm going to stretch now, and I'm going to take just a quick second to. I'm going to wrap it up when we come back, but I wanted to take a look through these comments. And love the barn doors, the barnwood doors. We've got, you know, pine wood floors in here too. We put them in with, I don't know if they were Tremont nails or what. Such nice, good grain, big pieces, hard to get. They definitely are a little harder to get. Some of it's, I think this piece right here is a strip of hardwood, and maybe they're all, I think this is some softer wood, some pine, right? Over here, and this is pine, and this is like, you can see the, maybe you can see the dog scratches on it, you know. Baxter likes to camp out in here, but when he wants to come out, he's like, time to let me go out. He'll go out to the back door, and we have some bells that are hanging off the back door. He'll go out to the door and just kind of like hammer on the bells when he needs to go outside. He's a pretty smart boy. All right, TJ, I've been mostly working with modern chord progressions the past few years. It's been really great to go back to chord chemistry after long. Isn't it, TJ? It's just such a great thing to revisit. And it's that cyclical sequence, you know, that Pestalozzian thing where you just get a little deeper, you look at it differently the second time around and the third and the fourth time around. There's just so much more found value there, right? It's back to the chord chemistry. Forgot how much is in that. Oh, it's just ungodly. Imagine being a beginner the first time you see it. What I've been getting so many comments. We've been, I don't know, you're following along in the comments probably, but people are like, you know, just like us, they're basically saying, yeah, I started looking through the book, got to page 11, and then put it on the shelf, and I haven't touched it for 10 years. So it's like one of those things that can be like, why am I doing this? You know, and well, I can go learn how to play a Beatles song and go make $100 or whatever, and then, or, you know, go on, hit the road and do a European tour or something, and then hopefully not lose my shirt. And, but there's so much more going on than just kind of banging out a new song. So, not that banging out a new song isn't good, because it's important to do. Hello from Dayton, Ohio, fine tuning. That's so jazzy. Do a tremolo. So you know what's funny is the tremolo. I want to talk about that just for a second. So if you set up A minor, like, you know how we were talking about, you know, the terrega, recuerdos de Alhambra. There's this really cool like tremolo, like Mateo does a lot of this kind of stuff, you know, with his fingers. It's and he's really good at it, you know. But if you can do that kind of thing, you know, with your thumb, with your ring, middle, and index fingers, if you're finger picking. So. So it's, what is it, A, 5, flat 3. Something like that. What is it? There's really a lot going on the guitar, just so much to do. And we'll get into fingerstyle warming up over the span of this year, and tremolos. Do you like the, what is it about the tremolo that you like? I find that I've got to get just my pick right down to a nub. You know, if I'm going to play that style and my pick's flopping all over the place, there's no way I'll be accurate. You know, I'm barely accurate as it is, but. Oh. And The pick, you know, holding the pick this way and just having a little bit of the pick exposed really helps with the control, you know. And then we're just starting slowly. And I start the tremolo with this kind of exercise, you know. We're doing a, you know, down, pluck, off, pull, right? So it's down, stroke, pull off, and then up. And then I just use this, you know, like the Spanish Phrygian, or and if you practice that slowly, you can have some fun with that. That's a really fun thing to just explore, but really work on. What I like to do in that case is really limit how far my pick is going. You know, as soon as I go this far with my pick, then I've, you know, immediately limited or restricted the speed, the amount of speed that I'll ever be able to have. So it's so important, and that's why these warm-ups are so important to me and so important to many, because we want to develop and minimize wasted, you know, mitigate wasted efforts. So I'll try to stay as close as I can to each side of the string. And then that will immediately increase my product. It'll increase the quality and the speed of my product. Yeah. Dayton, Ohio, jazzy sounding. Do tremolo. Hopefully that worked. You ever get into blues? Oh yeah, absolutely. We're basically all built on blues. It's all over American radio. So yeah, we're exposed to blues whether we, you know, like it or not. And I mean, if you follow, like, 𝗂𝘂𝗶𝘁 wrote a book called Jazz, the history of jazz, I think. And there's a really beautiful diagram in that book where you follow, you know, archaic jazz basically all through, or archaic blues all the way through to like hip hop and you know club or dub or whatever. And it's really crazy, like how it changes over time. Flat 5 to natural 5, bluesy, chromatic equals jazzy. Yeah, that blue note is. There's a club called Blue Note, isn't there? One of my buddies plays that Blue Note. Craig Brand plays Blue Note once in a while. Walk That Fretboard. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so if you're talking about blues, so if we're in the key of A, these are all things that we're going to get to, but if you wanted to play, you know, kind of like, you know, if you want to play like Joe Pass, I know some of us really want to play, you know, Ted Green in the style of Ted Green or Joe Pass, and then, but you can use this, you know, learning how to walk a bass line, you know, it's called a functional bass line. And then I've got the 4 chord, and then back to the 1 chord, and then frequently we'll use just the 5 chord, and then back to the 4 chord, and then back to the 1, and then up to the 5 to kick it around for the turnaround and start over again. Well, we don't always have to just kind of use the 1, 3, 5, 6, flat 7. You know, we can use the three, 6, 2, walk up to the 5. And then if you wanted to, you know, throw the guide tones in there too. Oh, that's where these chords start to become kind of like handy. You know I can play like the minor 7 flat 5 chord and all of its inversions, you know, in place of the C minor 7 flat 5 in place of the A7. So there's a lot going on here, and all of these things, like I said, are just all out there, and what I'm trying to do is just kind of bring them all together. So in a thread over the next, we're talking about very complicated things to accomplish here. So I thought maybe if I just give it, if I just show up here every day, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, that we can work through all of this stuff together, but focus on, focus on warming up. Just focus on warming up, the art of warming up on the guitar. So all of the rest of that stuff will come. Hi, Ellie. Good morning. What's going on? Hello. All right, let's take a look. Take that flat 5 and work it, man. Yeah, that's right. It's jazzy because looks like jazz. Yes, yes indeed. Raul, good morning. Oh, gypsy scale. Good morning, Mr. Warner. How are you today? Yeah, I feel like that's a balance of wrist movement, slight finger movement, and being as accurate as yeah. I mean, did you ever see 𝗨𝘗𝘆 play, Mr. Farlow? Mr. Farlow is one of those people who, would just focus on the idea, and then maybe the pick hand could keep up, maybe not, but he was, just a really brilliant guitar player, and really great to listen to. Melody C negative. Do you know Heart of Gold? Absolutely, one of my favorite songs. Nothing Else Matters from Metallica. You bet. Yeah. Nice and White Satin. Oh yeah, 𝗨𝘗𝘆, one of the greats. Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking. Yeah, and then Heart of Gold. I think it's fair enough to say, like, there are people like Mr. Frizzell who will take songs like Heart of Gold and then make it his own, right? He'll turn it, so it'd be like D minor 7. I mean, you could do all kinds of things with these chords and these scales, right? But I think that's pretty much where we're going for this warm-up. So what we covered today, we did fingers 3 and 4, fingers 2 and 3, contiguous frets, fingers 1 and 2, all the way down to fret 1 and back up. We did fingers. We stretched the 4th and 2nd and 3rd, and then the 1st and 2nd fingers all the way down and back. We did fingers 3 and 4, 2, 3, and 4, fingers 1, 2, and 3. We did fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of those things. We also did the finger roll where we started, ascending one string and then kicked over and descended the next one. Played in 5s. We talked a little bit about how to rearrange, where does that major 7 augmented chord belong? I mean, we talked about it on Saturday. The video is going to live. It's part 9H of the Ted Green. No, I'm sorry, part 9I of the Ted Green series on my channel right here at 𝗚𝗏𝗃𝗃 Guitar. You can go look at those major 7 augmented chords anytime you want, because it's posted there now for eternity. We talked a little bit about where that major 7 augmented could come from, and it could come from the A melodic minor scale, right? And it's all of those notes are found there, and then all of a sudden all of that stuff starts to make sense. Just those sounds, just playing with those sounds, and it's like learning French. If you immerse yourself in it, you learn it much more quickly. and just having some fun with it. And we talked a little bit about the gypsy scale. We talked about jazzy blues, run-in blues bass lines. We talked about, now the gypsy scale, like if you were going to play you play gypsy guitar. Yeah, so we're covering some things that are a little bit beyond the scope of our warm-up patterns in the mornings, but I'm happy to do that towards the end. And then also I wanted to recommend, if you do have specific things you would like to cover and you would like to specialize in certain areas, I do offer Zoom price, select sort of private Zoom sessions if you are serious about it. And then if you're a channel member, we do widescreen live streams where we actually talk in real time about the things that we would have questions about and process those as a group. So feel free to join and jump on channel membership, because it really is it's something we definitely offer it, and you get live streams once, or I think the idea is once a month, but we like to jump on, but we'll schedule that again for this month and get that moving. And I guess what I'll do now is I wish you all a wonderful day, and thank you so much for coming to hang out with us today for the morning ritual, the morning guitar session right here at 𝗚cie𝗃𝗃 Nipu, bro, can you play advanced sevenfold song, Dear God? Okay, that's awesome. So I will, keep those requests coming. I want you to keep those requests coming. And if you're just brand new here, what's happening here is I'm doing 5 days a week from 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for about a half an hour. We're clearly over today. We're running way over actually, so I'm going to let you go. But I'm doing this once 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next year, right? All of 2025. And the idea is we're going to take a look at the first video we did a few weeks ago. We're going to take a look at our skills then and the chat and all that stuff, the things we're talking about. We're going to compare it to a video 1 year from then, closer towards the Christmas holiday here and New Year's. And we're going to really dissect the differences between the two and compare those. And so timing is just important. So what we're going to do is if you don't make it for the morning session, you can also enjoy it on demand. If you have specific questions or specialties that you'd like to watch, you can jump on. Some of our channel members get we have access to the live streams, like the live streams where we can dissect a song. If you want to learn how to transcribe a song in real time and you wanted to talk about like a sevenfold, if you request those things here, we also keep those things in mind and produce those. We put some of that stuff in the production schedule and produce lessons for that, like fully curated lessons for those things. So I really do appreciate you asking those questions and then requesting those songs, because those songs are so near and dear and important to us. And what I'm going to do is wish you all a happy morning, and I will see you all again tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. I wish you have a good day, and until we meet again, happy picking.